How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of Eastasiasoft, welcome to today's stream. Today I am continuing my playthrough of True Colors, A Date with Deception. A very fun visual novel. We are currently going through the second of 3 routes for this game. And if the last route was anything to go by, then we still have one more stream after this one before we finish up Route 2. We're currently going through the Malik route, and genuinely, I don't know what's going to happen next. So, this is pretty exciting. Hello to Rothsouth the Andria, and as always, Borealis for being here, the person who actually made this game. So, exciting stuff. And Dimlord came in at the perfect time. Wow. Not used to seeing 4 people in a row type without any repeats. That's pretty cool. I'm sorry to hear that, Dim. You want to talk about it? Okay, where was I? Here. I was here. Wow, what a tonal shift. Okay. So much bad luck at a gaming convention. Oh. I feel like conventions are not a good place to have bad luck. Another ordinary evening after work, except it doesn't feel that ordinary. Although if this was British, I suppose I should say ordinary. Just completely throw out that A. Oh no, not your Joy-Con. That's just sad. Almost everything is the same as usual. I've changed into my scruffy chill-out clothes, I've stuffed my face with pizza, my man, and I'm relaxing on the couch. Closed roads? When aren't there closed roads, let's be honest. However, instead of fighting fictional enemies or binging TV shows, I've got this damn script in my hands. Yikes, 300k, that's a lot. It's been weighing on my mind for the last few days, distracting me more than I thought it would. I haven't tried to learn anything yet, I've just been skimming through it to get a feel for what the character is like. That's a good first step. It would be really annoying if you learned the lines only to turn out that you learned them the wrong way. Good first step. Good instincts. Oh, that's unfortunate, Dim. I'm sorry to hear that. Did you get any cool stuff, though? Anything that you got there to make up for it? It doesn't look too complicated. My character is just way more active in this story than that tiny villain role had been, so there's a lot to memorize. They are also one of the more popular characters, so there's pressure on me to portray them well. So Borealis, is this just a random script that you just thought up for this, or is this a reference to an actual script for a show or a play or something like that? Like, is this a reference to something, or was it all made up just for the sake of this story? Nothing special. Sag. Unfortunate. They're outspoken, passionate, and loyal to their leader. That'll require a lot of expression from me. Yeah, the plays in this route are just made up. Alright, well, if you wanted to go above and beyond, you could actually write this play out and make it your next project. I follow you on Blue Sky, so I know that you are already working on your next VN, so I know it's not this, but that would be funny. Since I'm not used to doing this, I might mess it up. The last thing the audience will want to see is one of the best characters being represented badly. Heaving a sigh, I put the script down for a moment and stare at the ceiling. Other than my lack of experience, there's nothing really stopping me from doing this. I don't mind being the center of attention, so I don't think I'd struggle with stage fright. I guess the only thing that's making me hesitate is that voice. The one in the back of my head that constantly tells me all the worst things, that makes me treat people badly and hates change. It has a fiery passion for refusing to cooperate with anything that might force it to face the truth. that it's wrong about how it views life. I think that part of me doesn't want me to join the play because of why I'm doing it, to find things that help neutralize its power over me. It's probably a good thing that I recognize this, but it doesn't make it any easier to overcome. Also, everyone, go to Blue Sky. It's way better. Just saying. I have quit Twitter. I'm not going back. Blue Sky is so nice. It really does feel like what early Twitter or my ideal version of a social media should be. No random ads, an algorithm custom tailored to exactly what I want. I never see a single post that I don't want to see. It's so nice. Such a relief. I forgot what it was like to enjoy being on the internet. Follow me over there, by the way. It's just Skull, S-K-U-L. If only I had some guidance, or at least someone to comfort me through this. Oh, can we guess who? Wincing through a pang of loneliness, I find myself reaching for my phone. What's my Blue Sky? It's just Skull. Here, I'm actually going to go ahead and post it. I don't think they'd mind. There's a direct link to my... Your message failed to send. Terrific. It's just Skull, S-K-U-L. Just search for that. You'll find me, no issue. Put you in a bubble and you don't see other opinions. You never form an honest, real one yourself. That is a very common, I don't know what the word is, claim, criticism. It's a very common thing that people say about Blue Sky. But if it means filtering out all the negativity and all the opinions of people that I don't care about, all the AI-generated art, all of the political talk, all of the absolute morons and stupid takes from people who only have a total of 3 brain cells between their ears, if I could get rid of all of that, I'm going to be very happy. I'm not there to discuss opinions. I'm not there to have debates with people. I'm there because I love to see my friends' art and what's going on in their lives, and talk about movies and books and space, you know, all the stuff that I care about. And it's really nice to be able to do that without having to see people debating whether the Earth is round or flat. So stupid. So, I guess we're going to be contacting Malik. Wonder how that's going to go. I scroll through my contacts, going back and forth pointlessly. The only name that catches my eye is probably the last person who'd want to hear from me. God, this sucks. I sat there silently for a moment, wondering what to do. I'm not sure what makes me give in to temptation, aside from the fact that I'm pressing the continue button on my controller. That's what made me give in to temptation. But eventually, I tap out a message. This could either be a lifeline or a mistake. There's a production at the theater in town on the 29th, and this idiot might be performing in it. Got myself into a real mess, haven't I? Just put humor into it. That usually works somewhat. Gritting my teeth with uncertainty, I dare myself to press send. It's a Skull with 1 L. Really, East Asia Soft is over there? How did I not know that? I'm going to follow them. My God. How did I not know that? I feel like such a failure. What are they paying me for? If I didn't know that we had a Blue Sky. If you go to East Asia Soft and click on their followers, I should be the most recent one, so that'll be the easiest way to find it. Skull brings up mini Skull. Interesting. I tried to post my link and it didn't work for whatever reason. I'll try again. Did that go through? Oh, now it goes through, you know? Technology is perfect and flawless, as we all know. I hope I haven't crossed the line. No reply. Oh! I'm lucky. Bracing myself in case it's not a happy one, I open the message. That's surprising, Skull. It's good that you're branching out, though. That's a big move. I know! That's why I'm so rattled about it. Let me put it this way, Dim. If Blue Sky didn't exist, I would just be off of social media by this point. So, simple as that. I'm not going to stay on a website that removes the ability to block people. That's dangerous at best and illegal at worst. And I'm not going to stay on the website previously known as Twitter because of that. And I need to make it very clear right now, I'm speaking for myself, not on behalf of this company that I'm streaming for right now. But I refuse to stay on Twitter for that reason, on top of a plethora of others that I'm not going to get into. I like Blue Sky because it feels like a fresh start. It feels like I could just go back to enjoying social media the way that it used to be, where you're able to follow the things that you're interested in and easily get rid of the stuff that drives you crazy. And I'm not the kind of person who's going to just censor people because I disagree with them. I at least think, I'd like to think of myself as the kind of guy who can listen to other people's opinions. But when people just go about spreading false information and refuse to listen to reason, and those ideals are forced onto you against your will, I see no reason to subject myself to that. And I think that's the last that I'll say about that. We've got a visual novel to read, guys. We want to get back with Malik, don't we? That's what's important here. Okay. Hey, he did reply, and it wasn't entirely bad, so that's a start. Excuse me. My chest swells with a little joy at the fact that Malik's congratulated me instead of telling me to get lost. At least he's open to that much. I know that he won't want to make this a long conversation, though. I should keep it brief. Do I just thank him and leave it there? Or do I admit my vulnerability about it? I don't want him to feel like I'm constantly badgering him for help, but I do want some reassurance. I knew this was going to happen. Dang it all. Why do you subject me to this torture? You enjoy this, don't you? You do, Borealis, don't lie. You love seeing the streamers come to these questions and have to decide what to do. Well, here's my answer, because I'm not even thinking. I'm going to keep it short and casual. We're lucky he's even talking to us, okay? That's what I think. If we start pouring out our little heart and our little worries, oh boo-hoo, the guy that we almost murdered is suddenly going to be a counselor for us? I don't think so. Just saying. I'm gonna pick that answer. Under the assumption, of course, that also doesn't have any influence on the outcome anyway, so I feel very little pressure right now. No. That's the most innocent, that's the most false, innocent no I've ever seen in my life. No. Then you do like that little wink from Agatha Harkness. Anyway. Yeah, I'm doing my best. Thanks for the message. Click. That didn't feel all that satisfying. I wait for nearly 5 minutes, but Malik doesn't reply. I guess it was a pretty easy end to the conversation. Well, he seemed to like the idea of me joining the play, but other than that, I got basically nothing. I don't really feel any more comforted than before. Life is hard sometimes. I'm just going to have to figure this thing out on my own. Taking a deep breath, I swap my phone for the script again. Come on, Skull. Part of you wants to do this. Find it. But on the other hand, maybe we should have shared our worries, because we didn't share our worries with Ash, and that ended up with the bad ending. So, great! What did I do? There we go. I just bumped the wrong button. I set my controller down and it bumped one of the triggers. See, now I second guess myself. What real Skull would do is apparently different than what fake Skull would do, or should do. I feel like there's some sort of a philosophical metaphor in all this somewhere. I'll figure it out later. Are you good to go with your line, Skull? Yeah, that's fine. We all flip our scripts back a page, preparing to start another read-through of the scene. Against all odds, I actually said yes. I committed to the role, pushing aside my inner turmoil as best I could. I'm still reeling from it, but I'm doing my best to just focus on everything I'm gaining from this. It's my chance to do something fun that I've never tried before and expand my skills in a new area. I also get to be a badass knight who helps save the day. That's gotta be worth it, right? I say my first line of the scene and everyone else follows suit. So, my mind instantly defaults to, oh, so this role is a knight, so that's more confirmation that this is a guy. But, not necessarily, because in theater, any person can be any role. It's been that way since Shakespeare. In Shakespeare's day, all of the best lady parts were played by men. And these days, I mean, it's traditional for, say, Peter Pan to be played by a girl and stuff like that. So yeah, not necessarily. Since it's the theater, the knight could in fact be played by a lady who saves a lady in distress who's like, I don't know, Randy Savage. You know, it's theater. Colorblind casting, genderblind casting, all that stuff. Like, who cares? If you're talented, you get the role. It doesn't matter. Simple as that. So, yeah. No hard confirmation of what gender Idiot Skull is on purpose, because it's meant to be androgynous anyway. I say my first line of the scene and everyone else follows suit. A suit of armor? We've been reading our parts aloud for a while now, while the leaders guide us through each scene. Everyone had been thrilled when I'd announced that I'd taken the role. A couple of people even hugged me. It made me feel even more pressure to make sure I don't let them down. Right, this is the part where Skull convinces the hero to rally the troops and fight instead of giving up. Skull, we need to see some emotion from you on this one. You're really desperate to make him listen to you, okay? I nod diligently. And you guys, when they reach the last paragraph on this page, you've got to start visibly agreeing. Shout and cheer like Skull is really inspiring you. Your enthusiasm helps the hero to make his decision. The other actors accept her instructions, and the read-through continues. I begin my passionate speech, doing my best to urge the hero not to lose faith. The words are coming out okay, and I totally get why my character is so fiery in his delivery. They may take our lands, but they will never take our freedom! I apologize. I just feel like somehow I'm not doing it justice. I try to inject something motivational into the way I speak, but it sounds false to me, like I don't mean it. This isn't great. Did the music just change? I think this is a different song. We carry on, but the others start whooping at my speech. It doesn't feel very believable either. Probably because I hadn't been that inspiring in the first place. This song is new. Have we heard this before yet? This is nice, like something out of a dream. Once we reach the end of the scene, everyone looks around at each other with uncertainty. Not bad. We need to get that whole part more dramatic and emotional, but that'll come with time. Let's take a short break, shall we? The words cause everyone to scatter, grabbing drinks and chatting in groups. I loiter awkwardly in the middle. Seeing that I'm alone, one of the group leaders comes over. How are you finding it, Skull? It's okay. I'm just not 100% on how to do it yet. She nods understandingly. It's still early, so you've still got time to get it together. I did think you seemed a bit wooden during the... Talk about wooden. I did think you seemed a bit wooden during the speech bit. So, it's that obvious. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm kind of struggling to fully embrace the character. I think I'm just really aware that I'm not him, so when I speak as him, it doesn't sound right. That's acting. This is a gallant, noble man, and I'm not that kind of person. Now that I think about it, that's probably what it is. Considering everything I've realized about myself recently, my self-esteem is nowhere near what this character's confidence should be. I'm not a savior like this guy. I'm a horrible, manipulative... Well, let's not go there right now. But I feel so opposite from this person that I don't know how I could ever portray him accurately. I don't voice any of this aloud, but I think the conflict is visible on my face. I think a lot of amateur actors go through that. You don't feel like the person you're pretending to be. It's common, but it definitely doesn't have to drag you down. Do you know why you don't identify with that character? If you figured that out, it might be easier to find a way around it. Oh man, I'd basically have to confess everything I just thought out loud if I answered her properly. That's not something I wanted to get into with these people. My secrets are my own. This is really nice music. I guess I could just blame my lack of acting experience. That's an easy excuse to make. Come on! Again? Two? 2 in a row? Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, I agree. Like, this is a, I'm going with the top one, and I'll explain why. Self-discovery, I think that's the best way of describing it, because this is the first time the protagonist, like, it's not the first time, but this is a time when the protagonist is faced with, do I want to take the easy way out, or do I want to actually confess what I know is really going on? Like, essentially, this is a time to make the conscious decision to stop making excuses, and that's why I'm going with this one. I think I'm just... This guy is a really admirable character, and everyone loves him for being a hero. I don't really feel like I'm that kind of person myself. I clenched my fists a little after saying it. That kind of hurt to admit. The first step is admitting. I'm not going to go into why I feel that way, but at least I've been honest about it on the surface. She looks at me with pity, but nods again, seeming to understand me perfectly. Seriously, don't think you're the only one who's been through that. No one walks around talking themselves up to be an amazing person all the time in real life. And if they do, they're probably wrong. She giggles and I smirk. It's true, you're not a powerful knight who's adored by thousands, but you are you. I think it all lies in your self-perception. Everyone has plenty of good qualities, and acting is a great way to tap into them. Actually, more than that. She looks somewhat inspired for a second, and my curiosity peaks, and I'm curious, Borealis. You said you were in a band. Does that mean that... Did you possibly record this guitar yourself? Because you said you did all the music. So this guitar that I'm listening to right now, did you possibly record that yourself, or are you using a music instrument library and completely in software? Acting is also an awesome way to learn to embody qualities that you feel like you currently don't have. If there's a character who you really admire, then stepping into their shoes can help you grow those desirable traits for yourself. You'll feel like you're totally faking it at first. If I walk into the room at our next meeting and declare to everyone that I'm now a majestic dragon, it won't actually make me a dragon. She laughs again, and I join in, more loudly this time. But if I use that character as inspiration and keep pretending that that's who I am, then it'll eventually begin to rub off on me until I can naturally take on those qualities I like. Adopting a persona is hard, but it's not all make-believe. It can actually awaken positive traits within you that you didn't know you had. I'm sorry, this is unrelated. What I've been doing the last 2 years is doing a voice acting job for YouTube, or the voice I'm doing is a complete asshole. 100% not a single redeemable quality about him. I know, because I wrote him that way. So, this is like the exact opposite advice for me. For me, acting is like, you get to pretend to be someone you're not, you get to do things that you would never do in real life. And sometimes that means saving the princess, but often it means treating people like trash and getting away with it. I don't do that. I feel bad when I ask my wife to go and get me a water when I'm working hard and don't have time to get up and get one myself. Like, I'm not a very selfish guy. So this guy being a complete prick and thinking only of himself, it was fun to flex my vocal skills and embody that, but it's also something that I would never want to be myself. That's why it's acting. You're pretending. It's to me, that's part of the fun of it. Okay, so this particular song was with software, but are there other songs in this game that you did record live by yourself? With yourself? That, you know what I'm saying. Sorry, this is kind of important. Just give me a few seconds here. Trust me, this is important. Otherwise, I really don't like pausing, but I need to do this. In this particular, all of the pianos were done by you. Oh, cool. So you did piano stuff. I'll have to be on the lookout for piano stuff and see if I can't pay attention a bit more. The acoustics are really nice. Like, yeah, I really could have been convinced that this was a live guitar. It's really, really good. Each game's soundtrack is made a little differently. I remember you had said that you had commissioned a special rendition of Venus for a flute piano duet, specifically for Venus. So I remember you had said that. And the fact that you do all the music yourself in this game means that that had to have been an extra special thing to pay someone else to do that instead of doing it yourself. Oh. Maybe you commissioned yourself? Okay. You did that yourself. Okay, but yeah, here. Okay, I need a piano flute duet of Venus. Okay, I'll get right on it. I misremembered then. I thought you had I misremembered. My apologies. But cool. So you did do that yourself. Cool. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled game. I'll be on the lookout for piano songs in this. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. I assume that those are in public domain. Or cheaply licensed. But, okay, Tim. That's actually pretty deep. I've never thought about it that way, but it's a good point. I guess if I really throw myself into the fantasy of being this person, then it'll become more believable with time, right? That's it. This is acting. It's your opportunity to be literally anyone. Try on every hat you find and see what fits. You might think you look weird at first, but one of them might end up really suiting you. I grin at her metaphors, feeling an unexpected sense of encouragement. Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a shot. Thanks for the pep talk. No worries. It's what I'm here for. I'm happy to help anytime. We share a pleased smile, and I feel oddly grateful for that whole conversation. In fact, I'm so inspired by the moment that a question suddenly pops up in my mind. About that, actually. Do you think anyone would be up for doing an extra rehearsal session with me? I really want to nail this, and it'd help me out if we could take some more time to go through everything in more detail. I'm pretty shocked that I'm asking this. I can read, but it's just sort of flowing out of me. It wouldn't have to be for long. Maybe we could meet up somewhere between group sessions and just have one really thorough talk about it. I don't actually know anyone here very well at all either, so it might be a good way to break the ice. Wouldn't it be interesting if Malik was a part of this group or was a friend, like a mutual friend, and they drag him along without realizing that, like, that's not what's going to happen, obviously. Malik's not into acting, he's into sports. But that would be interesting, as if, like, they agree to an off-session group session, an off-day group session. They come together. It's like, oh, by the way, I brought my friend. Everyone, this is Malik. Skull, you know. That'd be... It's not going to happen, but... that would be funny. I listen to myself speak as though I'm hearing someone else. It's weird, but I agree with everything I'm saying. Getting extra help and getting better acquainted with some of these people would probably benefit me a lot. The girl seems a bit taken aback, but nods slowly. I don't think that's too much to ask. I love your enthusiasm. Why don't you and I meet up on Saturday, and I'll ask around for some others to join. And now the fact that Borealis says ha 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 makes me wonder, did I just guess something? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. We swap numbers. I feel very strange, as though someone much more productive has temporarily taken over my brain. I'll let you know, and we could sort something out. We'll get you feeling confident in no time. I grin and nod in thanks, and she straightens up. Well, we'd better get back to work, I guess. True. We better not hold up this session any longer. Sure thing. Thanks, Dragon. She throws her head back as she barks a laugh. No problem, Knight. So, are we going to have to kill her now? That's what knights do to dragons. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. I'm not sitting at home bored out of my brain or wallowing around in my usual loneliness. I'm at my favorite cafe, surrounded by members of the theater group. It's very uncharacteristic, strangely nice. and quite bizarre. The group leader I'd spoken to had gone back to me a few days later. She'd found a few other actors who wanted some extra script cramming time. Burger and fries time. Man. Oh, that does look good. When she'd asked where I wanted to go, my mind had automatically conjured up this place. It's the only spot in the city that I go to on a regular basis besides work. We've been here for almost 2 hours now, and everyone's been so gracious in accepting my request for additional help. Instead of making me feel like a loser, they've reassured me a lot. They're all pretty open people, and very patient. I wonder if we happen to be in the same booth that Ash was in when they were getting together with a lot of co-workers in the other route. Nah. I'm not sure if I'll make any serious friends out of them, but I feel a little more integrated into the group now. We attempt another read-through of a scene, clutching our scripts between glasses of iced coffee and empty plates. When it's my turn to speak, I try to embody my character once again. It's not quite as bad as the first time, but I'm still not very convincing. I messed that up, sorry. Can we go again? Everyone gazes at me with pity. It wasn't that bad, you know. Don't be so hard on yourself. I shake my head, but the others chip in with similar comments. You're overthinking it. Really, it doesn't sound as bad to us as it does to you. You were actually a bit better that time. Really? They all nod eagerly, and I feel conflicted. They wouldn't lie just to console me, but I'm still not satisfied with myself. Are you nervous about doing this on stage? Is that what's bothering you? Oh, no, it's not that. It's more just... Oh. Do I really open up about this? How do I even describe it? What's that phrase? Imposter syndrome. I think that's it. That's a really good way of describing this. I think that's nailed it perfectly. No further comment needed, honestly. The feeling that I can't masquerade as this wonderful character because I'm not wonderful myself and don't deserve to even pretend to be. Story time. So I went to the Artemis 1 launch in 2022, and there were so many people there that I've been idolizing my whole life. Astronauts, project leaders, all this stuff. When we were waiting for the launch, one of the astronauts that was there talking with us was taking questions, and someone asked, had he ever gone through imposter syndrome? And he said, actually, yeah, all the time. His very first week as an astronaut, he got to sit down at a table with Neil Armstrong and listen to the guy talk about all of his time on the moon, and all that he had done was just become an astronaut a week earlier, hadn't gone to space yet, hadn't done a day of training, and yet he was seen as equal to the first man to walk on the moon. Yeah. How can you not feel it at that point? And I bring this up because it was pretty much at that moment that I realized, holy cow, I kind of felt that at that point too, because like, what was I doing there? I was talking with an astronaut. I talked at that point with like a dozen astronauts, including 3 of the 4 who will be on Artemis 2. The next 3 of the 4 next people who will be going to the moon as early as next year. And I had this really strange feeling of, what am I doing here? Just, I got to go and do that, not because I was worthy of it, but because I'm famous on YouTube. That was pretty much the one and only time, I gotta ban this troll, sorry. Been a while since we got in a spam bot. It was the only qualification I had for being there was that I had a lot of followers on YouTube. But that was enough. And it was great to be able to go up and talk to these people. And, I actually know a lot of stuff. So I think they were kind of relieved that I actually knew what I was talking about. And I wasn't like, so why haven't we been to Mars? Stuff like that. Like, I was actually able to talk to them about technical things and training things and all this stuff. But still, I did not deserve to be there. I really didn't. So I definitely had imposter syndrome that day. And guys, it was really, really weird to be surrounded by 100 other social media influencers and about a half dozen astronauts and NASA executives and program managers and people who made the rocket and tour guides and 1,000 members of the press, and be surrounded by all of them and be seen as just as worthy of being there as all of they were, even though I had no qualifications. But NASA loves inviting me there because they know, even though space isn't my speciality, it's not what I focus on in my YouTube channel, they know that my enthusiasm and my knowledge of it, I can pass on to my audience, an audience that NASA themselves usually isn't able to reach. That's why they do that, for me and all the other people they invite. And I definitely felt a huge, a huge deal of imposter syndrome that day. So I can absolutely agree this is what this person feels like right here. That you shouldn't be here because you don't deserve to be. Well, I want to tell you guys that's not true. If you ever feel that way, if you ever end up in a place but you feel you don't deserve to be there, I just want to tell you, yes, you do. You may not feel it, but there's a reason you're there, and try and remember that. You might not know then, you might not ever know, but there is a reason, and you deserve to be there just as much as everyone else. Oh, it's one of the highlights of my life. Probably my second favorite day of my life, only after the day I got married. Honestly, it's going to be really hard to ever top that. Even if I went to the Artemis 2 or 3 launch or some future rocket launch where actual people get to go into space, go to the moon, go to Mars, whatever. Even if I were to witness one of those, it would never top that first time. It just, everything leading up to it and the enormity of it and the excitement and the sheer amount of stuff I got to do. Even if I went through all that again, it would, in a small way, it would just be more of the same. It's really hard to top that first time. And that wasn't even my first rocket launch, but it was my first of that scale, and holy cow. I need to continue with this. I've been taking way too many tangents. I know you don't mind, but still. I'm not good at talking about this kind of stuff. Speak for yourself. These guys have been so welcoming and helpful to me, though. I should at least try. Shifting uncomfortably in my seat, I attempt to share a little of my insecurity without getting too deep into it. Just the tip of the iceberg will do. I can't really identify with my character. He's so perfect and brave and does amazing things, and he's loved by everyone. He's someone I'd like to be, but I don't think my actual personality lends itself to being a hero very well. I glance around them all as they listen expectantly. They can't know the truth, but I was way better at playing that villain, wasn't I? I think I'm much more suited to being an asshole. There's probably not much pretending going on there. Damn, I always have to make a joke out of everything, don't I? Okay, something that we can agree on. I make jokes out of everything, even when I shouldn't. It's a personality quirk of mine that I'm trying to work on, but yeah, my sarcastic self sometimes just can't help it. It does break the tense moment, though. Everyone bursts out laughing. I end up grinning, too. At least I made them smile. That's definitely not true. You don't seem like an asshole to us. You've been super nice this whole time. Yeah, in all seriousness, you should be kinder to yourself. It's easy to see the good sides of other people, but when it comes to ourselves, we're way more judgmental, aren't we? She asked this to the whole group, and they nod in agreement. Been there. Everyone has a good side. You might not see it straight away, but it's definitely there. I'm not sure I can fully believe that. Have you ever lured someone into a false sense of security for your own ulterior motives and then taken out a knife and... No, of course you haven't. I'm pretty sure the only person sitting around this table who qualifies for something that bad is me. That's why I struggle when people say things like this to me. After knowing what I'm capable of, I'm never quite sure that I have a good side left. I think some of us have been through that. I can speak for myself. I've definitely been through this. It takes a lot to, first of all, admit you're wrong. That's a really big first step, but it takes a lot to actually forgive yourself sometimes for a lot of really harsh things. I think that's what this idiot skull needs to do, is learn to forgive themselves. I think that's a really big step towards healing and becoming a better person. I'm not sure about that. I try to laugh as I say this to make it seem more lighthearted than I'd meant. It doesn't work very well. Before I know it, people are reaching around the table to squeeze my arms and pat my hands soothingly. No, Skull, don't say that. Hey, come on now. For a few seconds, I feel utterly pathetic. However, the barrage of kindness doesn't stop. They bombard me with praise, compliments, and optimistic advice. After a little while, my self-loathing starts to fizzle out. This is the piano. My God, I was just talking about how I was going to pay attention to the piano, and it just now occurred to me that this is the piano. So, did you do this? Is this the piano you did? Was there a burger and fries at your... Was there a burger and fries on the piano stand while you were making it? What a stupid question. Anyway.
Look, everyone has their hang-ups, but everyone's also totally awesome in their own way. You will find what you like about yourself, and you can use this role to help you do it.
Yeah, you could totally be a hero, Skull. Just fake it till you make it. We know you've got it in you. God, they're all so nice. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Goes along with the NASA chat, yeah. I've had a kind of rough time this last month or so. I guess my confidence is a bit knocked because of it. It's fine, it's fine. If anything, it'll make your readers, I guess they are readers, your players, the people who play this, it'll make everyone who looks at this scene want a burger and fries. So hey, you're helping out the food industry. They should be paying you, honestly. That's the briefest way I could... Just can't get over that. That's the briefest way I could possibly put it, but they don't seem to mind the lack of details. Yeah, but my question stands. Is this you actually playing the piano right here?
Well, you started acting at the perfect time then. Finding a hobby you really enjoy can work wonders.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, do you want to have another run-through before it gets too late? They all agree, and we get back down to it. This time, when my part comes up, they all pause for a moment to cheer me on with rallying comments. I should really take on the strength they're trying to give me. Yeah, piano's your best instrument. Awesome. I took piano lessons for a few years and I was never good at it. My instrument of choice is violin. Been playing since I was 6. I feel like I'm good at it. I guess that's up for other people to decide. Sitting more upright in my seat, I grasp my script tightly as I focus. My dear friend, Have you remembered nothing of our cause? I raise my voice in false confidence. Tell me, what is it that brings you to this moment? Why has our path guided us unto the precipice of such doom? I glance quickly up at the group. They nod energetically, seeming pleased with my efforts. The guy who's playing the hero replies to me with his lines. Then I continue, trying to make my gestures even bigger. Exactly! Don't tell me now that these people will face this evil alone, without your fist of iron at their side. Surrendering to the moment, I stand up. Music change. I approve of this. This is funny. This is quirky. I stand up, grabbing a spoon from someone's mug and brandishing it in the air as I'm swinging my sword. I don't have a spoon. My cell phone. I feel pretty stupid, but since I have an automatic tendency to deflect things with humor, then I figure I might as well try to use it to my advantage here. Really overact it. My silliness causes everyone to start giggling, especially when a couple of other customers sitting near... What is this music? Especially when a couple of other customers sitting nearby gawk in confusion. I don't really care that I'm making a spectacle of myself, so they could stare all they like. My fellow actors seem to enjoy my comedy, whooping and laughing, so the scene carries on. I swagger What is this song? I swagger my way through the rest of my lines, emphasizing certain words with a passionate swish of the spoon. I'm being dumb, but honestly, it's actually helping a little. If I could go this far over the top, then I should be able to find a middle ground that actually works, shouldn't I? You had to make the song goofy, of course you did. Please tell me we hear this somewhere else in this game. It can't be just for this one scene, it's too perfect. It's too much of a masterpiece to be limited to a single scene in a single route. Think of Monty Python? I guess it is, kinda, huh? Those are coconuts! When I'm done, everyone bursts into a round of giddy applause. I take a goofy bow before I sit down. What? Is the Aspie velocity of an unmated swallow? What do you mean? African or European?
See? If that wasn't acting, I don't know what is. You're a real swashbuckler too, aren't you?
He nods at the spoon still in my hand and I laugh. Seriously though, thanks for doing this today. It made me feel better. I'm really glad, Skull. You'll have this roll down in no time. We all share a group smile, and then I offer to buy one last round of drinks. It's the least I could do to pay them back for all their help. After taking their orders, I get in line for the drinks counter again. I have to ask for a tray so I can bring everything over to the table, but I manage it. I'm very surprised Malik hasn't popped in. I guess he's not a burger and fries guy. Maybe he's the kind of guy who will eat a burger and fries knowing full well that he'll have to jog for a week to burn it off. We enjoy our caffeine fix, putting our scripts away and chatting about other things for a change. That's enough swashbuckling for one afternoon. On guard! Sweet spoon skills, dude. Try saying that 10 times fast. Sweet spoon skills, sweet spoon skills, sweet spoon skills. Okay, it's not that bad. I feel quite relaxed, chiming into the conversation every now and then. However, as I'm taking a slurp of my drink, it slowly dawns on me that the noise level has suddenly gone way down. Why did everyone stop talking? Why do you think? Glancing back up, I notice that everybody seems to be staring at the same spot. I follow their gazes with my eyes, surprised to see that an extra person has appeared at the table. On the other hand, some days you just call it. I won't go as far as to say that it was obvious this was going to happen because it wasn't, but I did call it. I did actually call it. Huh? My brain momentarily refuses to believe that it's actually Malik, but there he is, clear as day. He couldn't resist the burger and fries, man. That's what it is. Hey. So, heard this is a good place to get a burger and fries. Good day, sir. He hovers awkwardly beside all of us, seeming super embarrassed. I'm so shocked by his sudden arrival that I can hardly process what's going on. Did he see the whole thing? Hey, Skull. Hi, Malik. What's up? Are we really just greeting each other like normal friends? What sort of fever dream is this? I notice that the rest of my group are glancing between us, wondering what the deal is. I better try to smooth this weird moment out. Guys, this is Malik. We're workmates. Workmates? Ugh, my mouth just stopped working there. I introduce him to everyone in turn, explaining that we're all in the acting group together. He comes closer to the table to say hi. He's gracious enough toward everyone, but his whole demeanor is still very wooden. What brings you here? Oh, I just needed a recharge. He holds up the freshly bought drink in his hand. I've been at the sports center for a while. Oh, making new friends? His expression falters for a second. No, just by myself. The already lame conversation grinds to a halt. We shoot each other extremely awkward glances as he stands there silently, seeming conflicted. What on earth is going on? I rack my brains to try and think of something to say, but then he pipes up again. Anyway, I just saw you in the drinks line and thought I'd say hi. I'll let you get back to your rehearsing. He smiles briefly at the others and then shuffles backwards slightly. Oh, okay. Well, see you at work.
I guess so.
Yeah. He wavers for a second, as though he wants to say something else, but it doesn't come out. That whole thing was very strange. Realizing that everyone's looking at me for some sort of explanation, I start rambling. Sorry about that. I have some kind of awkward history with that guy. He's really nice, though. He probably just felt bad for interrupting us. I encourage them to just brush it off, and thankfully they do. The casual chit-chat resumes, but I struggle to join in. My mind won't stop replaying what just happened over and over. It's no secret that things have been spectacularly uncomfortable between me and Malik since our horrifying date night, but the way he acted just now seemed different. Am I just imagining it? No, he seemed sheepish and almost a little sad, like a hurt child or something. Did seeing me here upset him in some way? Actually, that can't have been it. If he was bothered by my presence, he would have just ignored me and left as soon as he bought his drink, right? He doesn't talk to me at work unless he has to. You'd think the same thing would apply here, too. I don't get it at all. But now that I'm thinking, something else has occurred to me. It didn't even cross my mind when I set this meeting up, but I've brought the group to the place that Malik and I visited most frequently together when we were on good terms. Oh, it didn't occur to you? That was the first thing that occurred to me as soon as I saw that burger and fries. No, I will not let it go. It was our spot. I can't believe this, but I haven't actually thought about Malik this whole time we've been here. Even with this place's association with him, he just didn't crop up in my mind. That was the whole point in joining the acting club, wasn't it? I'd say it's working. That's so uncharacteristic for me. Most of my days are spent pining after him like a sad little lovesick puppy. Did I really forget about him for a whole afternoon while sitting in the exact place we used to flirt? I'm so surprised at myself. The only explanation I can come up with is that I'd been focused on the task at hand as well as enjoying everyone's company. Those things clearly took up enough space in my head that, for a short while, I actually forgot about my heartbreak over Malik. Would have been literal in an alternate universe, don't ask me how I know that. Literal heartbreak, more like a heart stab. Stabbed right through the heart. Not that I would know. That's crazy. But I guess this is what he was talking about, isn't it? Finding new hobbies, exploring your passions, and making new friends. It all helps to develop your independence and confidence and diffuse your bad mental habits. Did I just achieve that for a few hours? Huh. I feel strange, but it's not a bad strange. I won't exactly be a different person by the time I get home tonight. But I guess I can take comfort in the fact that I actually handled myself kind of well today. Maybe I am capable of being less obsessive over relationships if there are other nice things in my life. I only took a small step just now. But it's something. Huh. What a surprising day. Just a bit longer. I got home from work hours ago, but after hastily whipping up some pasta, my man, I've done nothing except practice my lines. I started on the couch and then moved to the bedroom a little while ago on the pretense of getting ready for bed, but it didn't happen. I'm so focused that I don't want to call it quits just yet. It's only a few days now until the big performance. Time seems to have flown. I sort of can't believe it. A few weeks ago, I'd never even heard of this theater club. It's been a few weeks, huh? Now I'm an integral part of their production, about to take to the stage for the first proper time in my life. It's a mix of both exciting and unsettling. I guess I just gotta keep working and hope that it'll be alright on the night, as the saying goes. What time is it? Okay, 30 more minutes and I'll go to bed. Let's go back to the jailbreak scene. That's a pretty intense one. I flip through the pages of my script. Before I can find the right section, a noise suddenly breaks the near silence, making me jump. Gah! Who's calling me at this time of night? It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. What an ungodly hour for people to call other people. I assume it's a lot later for you, Borealis, and Dimlord, and everyone else in Europe. I get more European visitors than American visitors. It's really weird. Swiping my phone up off the table, I go to answer. However, my thumb freezes over the screen in shock as I see the name of the caller. It's 11 p.m. Malik? Why would... Okay. Just past midnight here, 11 p.m. here. Mondia? Mondia? Mondia. What? Did you mistype or... Monday! I thought you were saying some foreign word that I didn't know. Monday, I get it. Well, I do appreciate you guys being up late just to watch me play games. It really is awesome. And, not to mention, I'm usually up that late anyway. I won't lie, I usually don't go to sleep till like 2 or 3. Of course, I work for myself and I wake up at like 11 or noon, so I could do that. But I do appreciate those of you who do not usually stay up this late just to watch. Hello? There's a prickly silence on the other end for a second. Then his voice murmurs quietly.
Hey,
Hey, Skull. I know this is random, and it's late. Sorry about that. No problem. I wasn't asleep. So? What does he want? It takes him another few seconds to speak again.
I'm sorry.
I guess I just... There's the piano! I'm on the lookout this time. I guess I just wanted to apologize for being so weird when I saw you at the cafe. Oh, that's okay. I was surprised to see you. Yeah, me too. Another awkward pause. So did he see that whole performance that we did as the night?
I was thinking.
I came over because He sighs down the phone.
Honestly,
I want to be honest with you. I felt a whole bunch of things when I saw you that day. This really throws me off balance. I thought he felt basically nothing for me anymore.
I
know you're not the most social person, so seeing you in the middle of all those people, laughing and everything, well, they're not exactly my best buddies, just the people in my theater group. They're really nice, though. Their kindness and support flashes through my mind for a moment, making me smile.
I guess so.
Yeah, that might be true, but I don't know. You looked happy, and His voice grows louder and higher with insecurity.
I appreciate that.
Seriously, I'm really glad that you listened to what I suggested. You're doing new things, and it looks like they're working out for you. It's awesome that you could take it all on board and start to find some positives in your life. I wouldn't say I've got that far with it yet, but I'll take the compliment nonetheless. I mean, thanks, Malik. I've not really made that much progress, but it's a start, I guess.
Hey,
No, don't cheapen your own victories. I definitely feel like something seems a bit different about you recently. Really?
Totally.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's there. Oh. Well, that's nice, I suppose. Well, thanks. He hums an acknowledgement and then goes quiet again. I'm still reeling about the fact that this conversation is even happening, but I don't interrupt his train of thought. Excuse me. I guess I just had a moment back there at the cafe where I kind of felt something shameful. Shameful? What do you mean? Well, the atmosphere grows dense with unspoken feelings.
Oh, man.
Well, he said, This isn't pretty, but I think I was actually a little jealous. What? Jealous of what?
That's the way it is.
That you were enjoying yourself with people and I wasn't a part of it. Isn't that interesting? The idiot skull in the ash route has this exact same problem of jealousy. I mean, idiot skull was willing to do a lot more things than just stand there and gawk like Malik did. At least Malik at least he's not hurting anyone, but isn't that interesting that they actually have that? And it's not like Idiot Skull's issue was a deeply rooted jealousy, more of a possessiveness of like, you can only be with me and you can't even be allowed to be with other people. Malik's is, I'm sure it's a sort of jealousy of doesn't like that Skull is happy with other people and yet not happy with Malik. So definitely two different kinds of jealousy. This one's more of just I don't know, maybe a sort of a shade of envy rather than a possessive jealous type. Still, there, they got something in common. I did not see that coming. But I thought my tongue's tying itself in knots as I try to sort out my whizzing thoughts. You said you didn't want to see me anymore. I know. It's odd to hear him so unsure of himself. I needed distance, and I still do. Something just came over me that day, and He cuts himself off and then clears his throat loudly as if he's trying to steady himself.
Oh.
I saw you improving yourself, and I wanted to be next to you while you did it. I guess I enjoyed seeing you taking positive steps, and a part of me felt sad that I wasn't involved. So, yeah, jealousy. It's a shitty word, but it's accurate, I guess. This time it's me that goes silent. I'm struggling to process everything he just admitted. So what he's saying is there's still enough fondness toward me left inside him that he felt lonely when he couldn't share a nice moment with me. He actually cares, wants to be around me, even just a little? How could he still feel that after everything that happened? All this time, he's avoided me like the plague, and I don't blame him. Did a tiny spark of something positive survive after all? I sorta can't believe it. It's too unlikely. My head is all over the place, and it's clearly causing me to be silent for too long. Malik pipes up again, jolting me out of my thoughts.
That's kind of rough.
I know that was a heavy thing for me to say, so don't worry about responding. I guess I just wanted to be honest about my feelings. I appreciate that. I should probably go. You're busy preparing for the show, right? Yeah, I was reading the script.
Okay.
Cool. I'll leave you to it. His breath muffles against the phone as he pauses. Would he like a seat at the play? Is that what he's about to say?
I'd rather not.
We should probably still keep some distance, you know. But I'm genuinely glad for you about the whole theater thing and everything you're doing. I think you'll find that better version of yourself if you keep going. Not exactly what I had guessed he would say. Not at all what I thought he would say. Wasn't even close. Yeah, thanks.
Later.
Good luck for the show. See you around. Okay, bye. I sit with the phone in my hand for a solid minute. There's a lot to unpack about the whole conversation. I am so confused, and yet there's a sort of fuzz in my chest that feels nice. I don't know what this sudden confession from Malik means for his perspective of me or our interactions going forward. I guess I just feel the tiniest shred of hope and a lot of uncertainty. Ooh, backstage! I recognize this. All the mirrors with all the lights, changing rooms with lockers, really nice seats. This is definitely the backstage of a theater. Excuse me. Is that okay, Skull? It's not too tight? No, that's fine. Thanks. Ooh, boy, showtime. I peer around her to look in the mirror, laughing internally at my appearance. I've been fitted with my costume for tonight's performance, a lightweight version of a suit of armor. Not a look I've ever rocked before, but sure, I can knight it up for the evening. At least I don't have to ride a horse. Looking good. I think you're all set now. Yep, thanks for the help. No problem. She strides away to help another knight fasten their breastplate. I gaze distractedly at myself in the mirror again, with my mind in a bunch of places at once. We made it to showtime. Our group had hustled to get our performance as professional as we could, and now it's the moment of truth. The play will start in about 10 minutes. When I was in theater, what we did during the last 10 or 15 minutes before the play started was we would get into the mindset, so we would be all ready like long before that, and then about 15 minutes before, we would all get together in a huddle and try and align our focus on the play, on what we were about to do. So no distractions from phones or from friends or homework because we were in college or anything like that. Just straight up from that 15 minutes on, we were focused on the play. At most, we would go in front of the mirror and tune up our makeup because when you're on stage, you need to have makeup. So a little bit of eyeliner and blush and stuff like that to help you be visible from far off in the audience. I'm very proud of the fact that I know how to do a bass now. And we might go over some of our lines, but by that point, like the way our play was done, it was the sort of play where we all needed to memorize everyone's lines because every single character was interchangeable with any other character. So of the 5 of us, if one of us got sick or even 2 of us got sick, we had contingencies in place so that anyone else could pick up their role and the play could go on as per normal. So yeah, 10 minutes before start, that's when you get razor focused and laser focused. My goodness, razor focused. Laser focused and get into the mindset of showtime. Part of me is still in disbelief that I'm doing this, but the rest of me is pleasantly surprised at how good the experience has been. I've appreciated being around new people, and I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing how much I can apply my new skills on stage. I just really hope I don't mess it up. I've gotten more used to putting on a hero persona, but it doesn't mean that it's entirely sunk in. I still feel like a massive faker. I guess all I could do is try my best, right? Okay, everyone, this is your official call to action. Please make your way to the stage door immediately. Cast members in the opening scene, please stand at the front. Well, here we go. No more time to dwell on it. Let's get the show on the road. I snatch up my script as I go. I'll keep it at the side of the stage so I can check my lines between scenes. We all file out into the hallway, giggling and chattering excitedly. You would never wear makeup ever? It's for the stage, Tim. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy who would normally wear makeup. I usually like take a shower, comb my hair, and that's it for the day. But for the stage, you need to do things like eyeliner so that people can see your eyes a bit more from really far away. You have to put a certain, not powder, cream, a certain cream on your face because you're under hot lights. So in order for your face to remain a normal flesh color and not get hot and sweaty and stuff, you apply a base and a certain layer, a certain foundation to help it all better. Like, this is what you gotta do. Couldn't pay you enough to do makeup, then I guess you're just never going to be on stage. Which I feel is fine with you, knowing you. Ooh, lights. When we reach the side of the stage, I take a little peek around the curtain. I can't see much yet, but I can still feel the presence of a full room somehow. Must be a pretty good turnout. After a minute or so, the lights dim, and a voice blares over the speakers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming this evening. Tonight, we present to you a wonderful production entitled Heart of the Hero, performed by our local resident theater group. Please enjoy. Let our fantastical adventure commence.
And with that, we begin. The opening goes exactly as planned. Look at that theater! This isn't the same one as we saw in Venus, is it? Maybe? It looks strangely familiar. Ah, thank you, appreciate it. Medieval music plays, and it is very good medieval music too, very convincing. As several actors set the scene, when the trumpet fanfare rises up, us knights stride out onto the stage. The crowd clap and cheer at the sight of us. We strut with our chests puffed out, smiling and waving like royalty. Huh, this is cool. We're like celebrities. I linger in the middle of our group, waiting for my first cue. The leader of the knights turns to the rest of us, asking for a brave volunteer to carry out his orders. As practiced, I push through the bodies around me to stand at the front, trying to look eager. How many seats are in this theater? This is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say about 1,500 seats. My lord, 'Tis I that is worthy of your task. Not sure about how I delivered that. Came out a bit squeaky. Probably just first line nerves, though. I'll get into it. At least it wasn't that teenager from The Simpsons. My lord, it was I who was worthy of your task. This music sounds a little edgy. The play moves steadily along, but the more I act, the more frustrated I get. Oh no. I can't put my finger on it, but this still doesn't feel right. I keep walking with my head held high and try to project my voice, but it just doesn't seem convincing. Why is pretending to be a knight so difficult for me? We're getting kind of close to the interval now. There are only a few scenes left. I'm currently breaking up a fight between several townsfolk, doing my duty to keep the peace and protect the people. I slash my fake sword down between them all, stopping them in their tracks. Come now! This is hardly the time for quarreling! I'm supposed to be firm yet gentle, but I feel like I'm just yelling at them instead. People who turn upon each other are no people of mine! Would you not put aside your differences and choose kindness? That would truly make you a people that I'm proud to serve. My voice echoes across the stage as I try to make it sound full of influence and dignity. I'm a man of good morals who always does what's best and compassionate. Well, I'm meant to be. I don't feel it at all. I'm really not the right person for this character, am I? What are they all doing, looking to me as a role model? Someone else should have taken this part. I swallow my irritation and keep battling through the scene. My fellow actors do a good job of pretending to take my inspiring words to heart. I silently thank them in my head for glossing over my lackluster performance. We dart off the stage and into the wings, our job done for now. Everyone whispers animatedly as we wait for our next moment in the spotlight, but I find myself getting lost in my own thoughts. I'm really trying to fight it, but all of those terrible insecurities just keep getting louder in my head. No matter how many times I remind myself of all the compliments that the group have given me, I keep faltering. It's like something deep down still doesn't believe them. When this noble knight's words leave my mouth, they become all wrong. I can't even pretend that I'm someone like him. I tighten my grip around my plastic sword. It glints menacingly as the light bounces off it, morphing before my eyes to become a kitchen knife. No. Don't think about that. Shuddering, I slide it back into its sheath and try to pull myself together. I've got to block this out. Where are we now? Which bit are we on? Oh, okay. It's the last scene before the interval. Right. Come on, Skull. You can't let the first half go out with a flop. You only have one more line before the break. Make it good. I take to the stage again, joining the other knights as we investigate a cave. We got lost on our journey, and we're about to walk into the lair of an evil wizard unprepared. Hey, speaking of, any of you going to be watching Wicked? I'm the one who points out the potential danger of the situation right before it actually happens. I'm an important part of this scene. Trying to shut out the doubts chattering away in my mind, I listen to the other actors as their dialogue unfolds. Where's my cue? There it is. I don't Shit, what was I supposed to say? I seize up for a second. I was so distracted that I completely forgot my line. Several of the other knights look at me expectantly. Their eyes widen as they realize I messed up. I glance worriedly toward the audience, and a lot of them are starting to seem confused. I've heard the movie's good. I liked the play. I actually saw the play on Broadway when I went to New York in 2018. It was fun. Great. know I've really screwed it. I can't remember what my actual words are meant to be, but I stutter out something similar in the dire hope that we can rescue the situation. It doesn't set up the other knight's response properly, and they have to momentarily improvise in order to make it work. My insides burn with shame. We do eventually manage to guide the dialogue back to the script again, but it doesn't help me feel any better. Moving on autopilot, my body acts out the rest of the scene while utter chaos explodes in my head. My own sense of self begins to disappear, replaced by the booming voice of the dark alter ego that I hate so much. Mostly because it ruins my vocal cords. You pathetic idiot. How could you even think for a second that you could pretend to be a hero? You know what you are. A manipulator, an abuser, an antagonist. A monster. You're pure evil, Skull. You don't belong here. Ugh! Stop it! By this point, the wizard has appeared. It's lucky that I don't have any more lines for now, as my entire focus has been shattered. The only thing I managed to do convincingly is fall over when a spell is meant to knock us all down. Staring up at the ceiling as I lay on my back, I hear the audience gasp, enjoying the wizard's wrath. As he delivers his speech, I feel a sense of hopelessness envelop me. Perhaps the dark side of me is right. Maybe I can never be a good person. Not on stage or in real life. Or maybe the darkness descending on you as the stage lights fading out for the intermission? Just a thought, just a suggestion. The scene climaxes and the crowd bursts into applause. My fellow actors climb to their feet and I go to do the same. My limbs don't work immediately though. I'm drowning so deeply in my mental crisis that all I could do is flail for a moment. I feel someone grab my wrist and I let them pull me upward. They laugh as though I'd simply been clumsy, but I can't bring myself to even fake a grin. We all turn to face the audience, and I go along with the movement as we take a group bow. I feel even more wrong. It feels even more wrong than anything I've done on the stage so far. I've done nothing to deserve this praise. My heart thumps hard, and I realize that I'm becoming completely overwhelmed. I don't want to do this anymore. Self-hatred courses through my veins and I struggle with myself. I feel as though I'm seconds away from some sort of mental break. I have to make it stop, but I don't know how. I don't want to crack in the middle of the show and let everyone down. I need something. Someone. Really? Why? Big choice? No, don't say that. Ah, man. No words. I have no words. This sucks. Great. Look to the audience for a second. This is... I just realized this is a double meaning. This is me right now. Do I trust myself and do I pick whichever one I want, or do I look to my audience in the chat right now? I'm going to do that. What do you guys want me to pick? I am a big fan of peer pressure. Let's just go with that. Okay, guys, what should I go with? Come on now. Be a pal, be a friend. I could use some support right now to make a decision. I'm thinking of looking to the audience as well. Because we have learned that when we trust ourselves, that when Idiot Skull trusts Idiot Skull, things go poorly. So I'm thinking of that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Good grief, man. Borealis. This is just mean. This isn't even funny at this point. This is just mean. Okay, it's kind of funny. I'm a bit too frazzled to see anything properly, but my ears tune into the sound of the audience clapping. Wait, route ending locked in. Is Malik in the audience? Are we about to find Malik in the audience? He's going to cheer us on? Is that what's going to happen? They seem happy. They're enjoying the play regardless of my hesitance and mistakes. Is it really okay? Everyone swoops downward for a second bow, and I go with the movement shakily. The applause intensifies a little. And when we stand upright again, I dare myself to look at the room properly. A sea of smiling faces greets me, pleased and eager to see more. They don't think I've ruined it. I scan the rows of bodies hungrily as though every new pair of clapping hands gives me a tiny shred of comfort. If they think I still deserve to be up here, then... Wait. For a second, my eyes catch sight of something so unbelievable, I automatically assume that I'm hallucinating. Is that... No, it can't be. Yes! What a frickin' relief, I'm telling you. Borealis, you sure know how to raise my blood pressure, you know that? Malik can raise Idiot Skull's blood pressure, you raise my blood pressure. Him through exercise, you through having me play through these really tough choices. There we go, people. We got only one bad ending for Ash and only one bad ending for Malik. We're going to get 0 for Brianna. I am the king. Let's go. Oh my god, it is. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Malik claps along with everyone else, having stood up from his seat, possibly to help me notice him better. A shaft of light illuminates him like a beacon of hope and warmth. That better not be the overhead light about to crash down on him. I saw that episode of South Park. I never dreamed that he'd actually show up. Seeing him here has totally thrown me for a loop. I could barely make sense of the whirlwind of emotions tearing through me right now. The only reason he'd come along tonight is to support me, right? To watch me as I keep walking down this new patch of life. I wonder how this makes him feel about us. My mind flits back to that unexpected phone call we had a few nights ago. I still can't believe he was jealous of other people being involved in my journey. A jolt of something powerful rushes through me as we lock eyes. He's realized that I've spotted him. He flashes his teeth in a wide smile, raising a hand up at me in a subtle fist pump of solidarity. Huh. Yeah. I'm doing it, Malik. I breathe an exhilarated laugh, and then the actor to my right nudges me gently in the ribs. Oh, we're leaving the stage. Okay. Exit stage. Oh, stage right is this way. So, bye. Anyway. Tearing my eyes reluctantly from Malik, I follow the train of people as we exit. The curtain comes down behind us to mark the end of the first half. The room instantly becomes a flurry of activity. Everyone chatters enthusiastically about how the play is going, and then we all begin straightening up our costumes and practicing our lines for the second half. I'm still so stunned by Malik's appearance that I don't move straight away. I'm hovering distractedly in the middle of the room when two of my fellow actors interrupt my daydream.
Are you okay, Skull? You seem kind of out of it.
He pats me on the shoulder, startling me a bit. Yeah, you struggled at the start of the cave scene too. Are you alright? I hate that my mistakes and uncertainty have been that obvious to everyone, but I shrug off the shame as best I can. Yeah, I'm just disappointed in my acting. So I'm curious, that one streamer you watched that got the bad ending every single guest, did he get the bad end? Like, just get up and walk away? Because I still feel bad for that guy. What are the odds that he picks every single bad ending? Like, that's worse than a coin flip. Like, that's almost impressive. Yeah, I'm just disappointed in my acting. I'm still struggling to really imagine myself as this knight character. Their expressions instantly filled with pity. Really the worst laugh. It's like how kids... It's like that one scene from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse where Miles' teacher is like, you know what the odds are of somebody actually picking the wrong answer every single question and getting a 0%? It's the exact opposite as picking the real answer. So it's hilarious. The odds are the same as picking all the good ones. Actually, no, not necessarily, Dim, because if it's a 50-50 chance, theoretically, you should only pick the right answer 50% of the time and the wrong answer 50% of the time, the way the odds work. So it's actually worse than that. Like, it's genuinely impressive if he could get it that wrong consistently. Hey, don't worry about it. It's your first time on a proper stage. It's bound to feel strange.
Yeah, and honestly, you're not doing that bad at all. I know you fluffed that line, but we recovered. We need moments like that every now and then to keep us on our toes.
The pair of them laugh. And I chuckle hesitantly. They're really not mad at me. Yeah, I'll try harder in the second half. They nod, but the girl seems pretty concerned, eyeing me with worry. Are you sure you're going to be okay going back out there? I know moments like that can really knock your confidence. We all know you could do it, but I want you to feel comfortable. You looked so anxious just now. Will you be all right? I can't answer immediately. My mind swims with thoughts, and I pause for a moment, trying to decipher it all. During that last scene, I'd been about 90% ready to throw in the towel for real. I got so hung up on my own insecurities and frustration that I was almost planning to quit the second we got off stage. I just couldn't handle feeling like such an imposter. After seeing Malik, though, things are different. I feel, well, I don't know. What is this jarring mixture of emotions I'm going through? My whole struggle with this knight character has always revolved around how I feel unworthy to play him, and I just realized, Borealis, there's a lot of parallels between this route ending and Venus. Characters go on stage, super nervous, find their confidence, people cheer for them, everything lives happily ever after. You made both games, coincidence? Just saying. Must have a real love for the stage and for performing. And it really does translate well to these stories, too, because you could tell. He represents the qualities that I don't think I have, and I couldn't even make believe them into seeming realistic. The wake-up call I'd had after that dreadful night where I attacked Malik truly made me realize that I've been seeing everything so wrong. Understanding how I've really been treating people made me feel so disgusted at myself. I didn't think I'd ever be able to redeem myself in anyone's eyes after all that, especially not Malik's. And yet he's here after everything I did, and all that time he wanted to avoid me. He's come back to watch me try regardless, and he seems proud of me. Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to guess that Brianna's route has nothing to do with the stage. How could he suddenly be so forgiving and supportive? I guess the only answer is he believes in me. He has faith that I can turn my life around and become a better version of myself that I've been chasing. For him to believe that, it feels nothing short of a miracle. And if he thinks I can do it, then it must be true. And to be fair, you did have... Hold on. So we had the Venus cameo in the Ash route. We had a performance in this route. So there has to be something in Brianna... in the other... Third. Something to remind me of it. Beyond... for girl. Right? Or maybe not. Maybe it'll be so different that I will have truly saved the most unique and best for last. Gonna be really hard to top Ash, though. We will see. Skull! Her voice cuts through my reverie, but I don't mind. I know what my answer is now. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Don't worry about me, though. I take a deep breath. I straighten my back and raise myself up, harnessing every scrap of strength that I can. I'll be fine. Let's nail this second half. Both of them burst into relieved smiles, congratulating me on my apparent newfound confidence. They leave me to prepare, and I run through the script one more time. My hands are shaking, but it's not out of fear. An unfamiliar adrenaline is coursing through me. It's making me anxious, but I feel oddly energized at the same time. I've got to hold on to this motivation while it's here and give it my all. The second half begins, and I have a while to let this new feeling sink in. My character doesn't appear for a few scenes. I watch the story continue to unfold on the stage, peeking at the audience as much as I can from where I'm standing. They're enjoying themselves again, absorbed in the performance. Knowing that Malik's among them makes me shudder with both nerves and elation. He's here because he knows that I can succeed. I've got to prove to both him and myself that he's right. The hero of our tale, the captain of the knights, turns away from his fellow actors with a troubled expression. He's lost his faith, and he can't find the will to keep leading the fight. He needs his best friend to remind him exactly who he is, how powerful his strength can really be, and that hope is always on the horizon. That's me. It's time for me to step in and save the day. I sigh heavily, gearing myself up. My fists clench in an attempt to stop shaking. This is so much more than just pretending to be a knight. It feels like the first step of the rest of my life. I do not want to stumble and fall. I wait for the hero to give me my cue, and then... My dear friend, have you remembered nothing of our cause? Every head in the room turns toward me, including the captain's. A dense silence falls, blanketing everything in suspense. I do my best to think about nothing but the story we're bringing to life here. This is my strong, determined leader, now uncharacteristically beaten down and hopeless, almost ready to give up. His eyes are full of uncertainty, sadness, and conflict. It's all right. I'm here. I won't let this struggle defeat you. Tell me, what is it that brings you to this moment? Why has our path guided us unto the precipice of such doom? My voice rings out, and the leader answers hesitantly. Because we sought to do what was right. Exactly! Don't tell me now that these people will face this evil alone, without your fist of iron at their side. I gesture to the group of townsfolk and other knights behind him. The more vulnerable he looks, the more aggressive I become. He can't abandon hope now. Throwing myself into the role as fully as I can, I deliver the inspirational speech that I'd struggled with the most during rehearsals. Thanks to everything I've thought about since seeing Malik during the first half, I find myself much more able to focus. The script I'd memorized flows from my brain and out of my mouth easily. With every sentence, I grow more and more loud, confident, and passionate. Before long, I'm somehow doing exactly the thing I always wanted to. The mental block I had is finally gone. That's it, my lord! I cry the words with joy, darting forward to seize his hands in my own. Now let us go forth from this forsaken place and ride to our destiny! The actors around us whoop and cheer rowdily, inspired by my speech. This time, it's much more believable. As if to prove it, the audience let out a yell of their own, raising their fists and sharing our motivation. I actually made them feel something. My fellow knight and I share a breathless grin. It's part of the script, but honestly, I'm not sure that I'm actually acting at this point. I'm just genuinely happy. To the barracks, my friend! I nod eagerly, and we rush across the stage, making our exit. The audience applaud loudly, seeming to have really enjoyed the scene. I snatch a glimpse of them as I run, unable to keep the smile from my face. I'm doing it. I am a knight after all. Watch me, Malik. I'll show you what I'm made of. The rest of the play goes smoothly, and the crowd loves its conclusion. In the end, we succeed at vanquishing the evil wizards and restore peace to the land once more. Our final scene features the townsfolk welcoming us knights as we return home from the battlefield. They cry, cheer, throw flowers, and kneel at our feet in gratitude. I beam so widely, I feel like my cheeks are going to explode. I may not have defeated any enemies for real, but I feel as though I'm genuinely walking across a field of victory. You're not a knight, but an esquire. That's when I found you, my trusty sword. With just my hand and you, I'm never bored. Just a few more strokes and I'll be done. We've graduated. We got a promotion. I pulled together just enough self-belief to make it through. I got over that feeling of being an imposter. I proved to myself that I can embody positive qualities, even if I struggle to show them on a daily basis. Now that I've used this character to harness that goodness, I think I might be able to start seeing it in myself little by little. If I didn't have it in me to begin with, then I don't think I'd have been able to act so efficiently in the end. I must have been drawing on something real, right? That thought is so incredibly reassuring to me. I don't think I should view myself so negatively anymore. It's not that black and white. I've been a horrible person, but I have to believe that there's more than that inside me. I can work to bring that good side out now and let the darkness slowly fade away. The notion fills me with joy as I gaze out at the crowd one more time. The entire cast of the play has joined me on stage, and we all take a final bow together. My eyes find Malik again, and he looks 10 times more exuberant than he had before. I grin as he roars and claps, my heart doing flips. Did you see it? Wasn't I great? The curtain comes down one last time, closing the book on our story. As the last chapter of our theater adventure ends, I feel as though a new chapter of my own adventure begins. Sometime later, I'm stepping out into the cool night air with my acting buddies. They haven't stopped showering me with praise for my vastly improved second half performance. I've blushed so much I feel like I'm a permanent state of fever.
So what did you think, Skull? Now that you're broken the ice, would you act on stage again?
I find myself giving an answer I'd never have expected. I think so, yeah. I want to see what else I can do. Plus, it feels amazing when the audience appreciates your performance, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're not kidding. You deserved every second of it tonight. Your speech came out brilliantly.
I chuckle and wave his compliment away sheepishly, though I'm secretly bubbling with delight. We stride through the back entrance of the theater, heading toward the corner that leads to the main street. Before we reach it, a familiar face suddenly appears around it. Malik!
Hey,
Hey, Skull! We both freeze in place, unsure of what to say next. Despite the fact he'd come here tonight, the last time we saw each other was still very awkward and uncomfortable. I'm not sure how to act or how he'll be with me. To my relief, my theater buddies seem to sense that it might be best to leave us alone.
Hey, we'll catch up with you next week, Skull. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. After a wave and a grin, they all disappear around the corner. Malik and I linger with uncertainty, unsure of where to go from here. He fidgets with his hands, but then his mouth curves into a small smile.
you're good.
You were really great up there. That second half was awesome. My stomach tingles as I laugh. This music, you play this piano too? This was at the end of the Ash Route too. This is so pretty. My stomach tingles as I laugh. I've just heard that exact comment about 10 times, but hearing him say it feels so much bigger. Thanks. I didn't, You never said anything about coming tonight.
Well,
Well, I didn't think I was. It was a kinda last-minute decision. Makes sense.
in fact,
I also thought it might make you feel weird or something if you knew I'd be there, so I didn't mention it. I nod. It was probably a good move. I'm really glad you came. He gazes at me when I say this, and his expression is hard to read. I feel like there's a lot going on under the surface.
that's how I feel.
Me too. We fall into an awkward silence. For a second, it seems like that's all he wanted to say. However, after fiddling with the hem of his t-shirt, he pipes up again. You know, it's been really good to see you like this, Skull. When I ran into you at the cafe the other week, it made me wonder how you were doing with this whole self-discovery thing. You looked like you were enjoying your new situation with those people, and although it did make me a little jealous... He averts his eyes for a moment, stewing in embarrassment.
I guess so.
It also made me curious as to how it was going, and what you were thinking about yourself and your decisions. And seeing that whole thing back there... He throws a hand in the direction of the theater.
I like that.
You totally floored me. You're really throwing yourself into this, right? I've never seen you so loud and confident. Honestly, neither have I.
Yeah?
It's really nice to watch you broaden your horizons. You seem like you're finding something in yourself that's worth holding on to, am I right? I never thought I'd be able to agree with a statement like that. But against all odds... Yeah, I think so. Something changed tonight. It's hard to explain, but... I feel like I can have a bit more faith in myself now. I actively want to get out of my old habits and replace them with better ones. A fleck of self-loathing rears its head at the thought of my past actions, but it dies down as I watch Malik smile.
I appreciate that.
That's really powerful, Skull. I'm genuinely happy for you. My chest flutters at his words, and we both exhale in quiet laughter. It feels strange that we're having such a nice conversation right now, but I appreciate it so deeply. I'm like a giddy teenager all over again. He cuts himself off, almost squirming at what seems like indecision. I think there's something else that he's struggling to tell me. My stomach burns with curiosity, but I hold my tongue and wait for him to figure it out himself. I don't want to push him. After what feels like minutes, he continues. I feel like I should be honest with you, Skull. This isn't something I thought I'd ever say. He chews his bottom lip tensely.
Honestly,
And it kinda goes against my better judgment. I think a few weeks ago, it would have been considered a mistake. I'm stuck in place, bewildered, but dying to know what this is about.
guess.
This whole time I've been avoiding you, it was for a good reason. I was right to cut you out of my social circle after what happened. I didn't want someone so toxic to be able to keep affecting me. Not only was it just unpleasant, but it reminded me of my own flaws. His jaw clenches. I feel a pit of sadness open up within me, knowing that I've caused him to dwell on an old mistake of his that shouldn't even be relevant to his life anymore. I can only acknowledge his words with a grim nod. He's right about everything he just said. The responsibility is mine.
I was thinking.
But somewhere down the line, I started to feel conflicted. I mean, I'm not sure what I was feeling most of the time. I could hardly make sense of it. But what I realized over these last few days, he shifts his weight from foot to foot sheepishly,
I guess so.
is that half the time I was avoiding you, I actually kind of missed you. I'm so stunned that I can't reply. He glances quickly at me. Seeing that I'm not about to say anything, he carries on. I let you go after that whole drama at my house and gave you the advice you asked for because I genuinely wanted you to be able to improve your life. Got an itchy nose the worst time, man. You know I've been through the same thing before. I'm proof that it can work. I knew that you were a really nice person at heart. You just needed to work on things and shed your toxicity before it could fully come out. Ash said something very similar, didn't they? I didn't feel like I could trust you as things were, but the truth is... His chest swells as he takes a deep breath, and then he turns to face me directly.
In fact,
My feelings never really disappeared. That good side of you that I started falling for when we met, I still liked it. Even when I was pushing you away, part of me still wanted to be around you. What he's telling me is so monumental that I still can't say a word. All I could do is stare at him, my heart pounding.
honestly,
I tried to convince myself that there was no way we could work together. But after seeing all the effort you've gone to recently, the way you've started to embrace change and try to change your perspective, his face relaxes into an embarrassed but incredibly sweet smile.
I love this.
I don't feel like I can deny my feelings anymore, Skull. I don't know how you feel about this, but I still really like you. He chuckles. Hell, I don't know how I can even feel it, but it's real, and I have to accept it. You're proving that the awesome side of you can win out, and it's... A small blush creeps into his cheeks. And it's really encouraging and kinda attractive. His fingers knot themselves together as he cringes at himself, but he keeps smiling nonetheless. Is this... Am I quite sure that this isn't a dream? Malik's words play themselves on repeat in my head as I stand there, reeling. After everything I did to him and the way I made him feel, he's willing to look past it all and reconnect? I'm not sure if my voice is actually going to come out properly, but I attempt to reply at last. Do you really mean that? He nods slowly.
Exactly.
I do. It probably sounds crazy, but yeah. He breathes a quiet laugh, and I do the same. I never thought you'd forgive me, and I would have totally understood that. I know there's probably no point in me saying it again, but I really, truly regret what I did that night. I'm so sorry for what it's put you through, Malik. He nods again, this time with a sense of seriousness.
I appreciate it.
It's still appreciated. That's one thing, I guess. I'd kind of accepted that you'd never want anything to do with me again. And it's justified. I didn't think you'd ever say anything like this. I don't know how you feel about the future between us, but if you really think that you'd be able to forgive me, then... Tears threatened to spill from my eyes. Am I really excused for my horrible actions? Is this torture between Malik and I finally over? I'd really love that, Malik. If I even deserve it. My insides feel like they're frozen over, and yet on fire at the same time. I watch Malik as he presses his mouth into a thin, tense line. Then he opens it, and it feels as though the whole world stops turning in anticipation of his response. I think I could do that. It feels as though every atom in my body slumps in relief when I hear this. At long last, I'm forgiven. Unable to reply properly, I simply laugh. Malik joins me, and we chuckle awkwardly for a moment. Everything suddenly feels so strange and yet so wonderful. Are you sure about this? I can't help but ask.
Don't worry about
Yeah, I want to move forward. You're not the same as you were that night at my house. I'm more certain of that now. Besides, you just inspired a whole room and helped kill a bunch of evil dudes tonight. You're a hero now, you know? He giggles, and the sound is so entrancing to me that I almost feel drunk. I don't know. If you're willing to go through all that hurt I caused you and then find it in your heart to forgive me and try again, then I think you're the hero, Malik. He sniggers and shakes his head. My chest floods with affection. Well, you're my hero anyway. We lock eyes when I say this, and his dreamy gaze sucks me in. Things are really going to be okay between us.
That's how I feel.
Well, you know how I feel now. So, if there are any more potential dates in the future... He squirms cutely.
I like that.
I think I'd be up for one. I don't think words can get anywhere near describing how this makes me feel. He came into my life like the most incredible gift, and then I lost him for what I thought was forever. And now I've got him back. Do you...
Hey,
Skull? He takes a tentative step toward me. There's a sudden yearning in his eyes, plain as day.
I guess.
Can we stop the stalemate now? This distance? Can we just... He leans closer, his arms raising hesitantly. Now kiss! Unable to stop myself, I rush forward and he meets me in the middle. They kissed! Come back to me, make up with Malik. Let's go. Make out with Malik, more like. It feels as though electric currents are coursing through me at high speed. I never wanted to kiss anymore. I never wanted to kiss anyone more in my life, and judging by the way Malik's kissing me back, he feels the same. For what feels like a long time, we stand there under the glow of the street lights, blissfully entangled. So, I'm curious, Borealis, you don't have to answer this if you don't want, but when you commissioned all of this art, so I'm guessing that every single good ending has a kissing CG. What order did they arrive? Or did you just commission all of them and they all came in at once? Whenever I commission art, I'm usually in contact with the artist about things I want changed as it goes, but maybe in this case it was different? Oh, look at his little finger, his index finger. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, doing that. I can't do that. For what feels like a long time, we stand there under the glow of the street lights, blissfully entangled. So I guess my question is, did you get it back in like Malik, Brianna, Ash, or was it like all of them at once, or was there a specific order you got this particular CG? Said one more stream after this one for Malik. Well, yeah. Surprisingly, we actually did finish this in only 4 streams instead of the 5 that Ash took. I don't know. I can't explain that. The fact that I never even dreamed that this would ever happen again makes every sensation 10 times more strong. I actually commissioned them route by route, so Brianna's, then Malik's, then Ash's. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. And I take it that's... Is there a particular reason for that order, or is it just... It's just so happened to be what they all ended up as? I've done it. I've proved to Malik and myself that I'm worth something. I am a good person after all. If that is the particular order for a particular reason, then I am doing them backwards. I'm sure it doesn't matter, but that's interesting. And I'll never let that goodness slip away. I'll spend every moment making sure that Malik is happy, that he feels loved and cherished, and I'll never hurt him or anyone else again. No reason. Just finalized Brianna's design earlier. Fair. You know, perfectly valid. I'm sure Ash took a while to get their design right, because obvious reasons, so that's fair. I'll try to value myself more too, and be confident in the fact that I can bring positivity into my own life and the lives of those around me. I'll do whatever it takes to banish that dark side forever and start this new chapter of my life as the real me. A brighter future is unraveling, and despite how unlikely it seemed, I'm now able to head toward it with Malik by my side. All that obsessive desperation when it came to relationships really was pointless, because love came to me in the end, and all I had to do was be myself. Good life lesson. Ecstatic, I smile against Malik's lips. He hums a happy laugh. All right, future. Bring it on. I'm ready. No, wait. We're ready. Malik, good ending. Let's go. Hello, what is she wearing? I guess we'll find out soon, huh? So, first impression. Malik, I feel, was a lot more... I hate to use the word realistic, but it's a lot closer to how I would have reacted in that situation. Ash was super forgiving and super patient with Idiot's skull. Malik was like, we need distance. I'm going to help you only because I feel like I have to. And then in the end, it's like, okay, I can see you've improved. Let's get back together. Let's work on it. So that felt a little more closer to how I would. I wouldn't say grounded in reality. I wouldn't say realistic or anything like that. Just, it felt more relatable, I guess is the best way of putting it. So now we got to see what Brianna's all about. Okay, starting next week, we're going to start on the Brianna route and play through that to the end, and I am not going to get a single bad ending. I got one bad ending with Ash and one bad ending with Malik. Going to get 0 with Brianna. Let's go. Aw. Yeah, the boss. We were spared. The Temu Ozzy boss today. We were spared. We will not be spared next week. Trust me. He will be back.
You're the best.
Oh, that was cute. You're the best. All right. All right. Good end. Yeah, it was. I'm very curious to see how Brianna's different. We've seen Ash, we've seen Malik. Round 2. Malik, good ending. I can't help but feel like whatever Brianna's route is, it's going to make me cry somehow. I hate it when people get hurt. That's for future Skull to worry about. All right, well, we dodged the bad ending, and I feel great. So, that was the Malik route of True Colors, A Date with Deception. See you all next Sunday, where we will start the final route, third and final one. Thank you to Dim Lord, Rotsothi, and Andrew I for being here, as well as, of course, Borealis, the maker of this game. It's always great to have you here. Thank you for making the game. Thank you for hanging out. This has been great. And I'm glad that I could do your announcer justice with my voice. On behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.